Come in. Sir, did you call me? Yeah, mate, your wife's called. Family emergency? Oh, you? Yeah, so just clock off and head on home. Oh, sweet as it. Man, it must have slipped my mind, but I actually got a doctor's appointment on in 5 minutes and I got the kids and the wife. Just make sure you bring in a medical certificate. Thanks, bro. Yeah. My mum's passed away and I'm so sorry. No, it's all good. Maybe you should head home. Yeah, if that's okay. Thanks, bro. Yeah. How many mums does he have?
All right, whānau, this is the last episode, so welcome in. I'm going to chuck everything into this. Holy hecka, wowee, it's just me, and I'm loving what I'm doing here. Yes, as you can see, it's just me, no Maddie, she's got commitments, but let's take a look at what's coming up on the finale. This week, we're up on the Sunshine Coast to hear the inspirational story of Wellington Orcas legend and ex-Sydney Rooster, Mossy Masoi.
Wow, apparently I can't do that one.
Maddie's at the Raiders HQ with her mate Shay, ready to answer some burning questions about the NRLW.
No, we're not.
And I'm riding solo on the couch to chat with Panthers and Samoan young gun Taylon May. What were you thinking I was going to say?
I don't know. Move to the Warriors?
Hey! All right, whānau, yes, I'm getting all the names mixed up, but I'm looking forward to catching up with Taylon May, my mate on the couch, boys night out, talking about rugby league and his childhood growing up in Mount Druitt. Anyways, my mate Maddie over in Canberra is feeling left out, so she's doing her part for the show, this show, with their Canberra mates. Sorry about it.
It's the last sorry about it of the season, so let's make it a mean one. Jared puts a hit on Haas and explains his actions to the ref.
Houston, we have a problem with Jared.
But the ref says, nah, I'm the biggest guy on the field and stops Smoothie from a certain try.
Well shot, oh, Atkins! Try-saving tackle! Atkins, the X!
What a sad guy, sorry about it.
Our girls at the Raiders put on a show for the home crowd as we down the Roosters for our first ever win.
Hitting the ball, Mona Lisa Soliola scores the try that should wrap it up for the Raiders.
Don't forget all those autographs you signed, Maddie.
Sorry about it. Knights fans were holding their breath as Ponga had a couple of scares, but thankfully their main man was all good as he helped them to their fourth straight victory.
Have a slick haircut because you're a slick player.
Sorry about it.
The Cowboys got their first win this week as well, ending the game in style with 2 late tries.
Oh, they're going to score again. What a finish. Nakora with a double, and the Cowboys are going to celebrate.
Sorry about it.
And finally, the Dolphins and the Dogs went right to the end as Milford went over, leaving the game in Isako's hands.
This is what you dream about. Starts it wide, bending, he misses!
Unlucky Oos. You're still the man though. Sorry about it.
Kaupai Maddie, appreciate all your mahi you're doing over there. You also caught up with Mossy Masoi, who's got an inspirational story. Let's take a look.
Salafalava, Mossy Masoi here. You're watching The Ditch. Up the Kingfishers.
Up the Kiwis with Hopper! Time is Masoi. Oh, and he's put Shackleton down. He probably will get up smiling and say, "How you like them apples?" Oh, the game. Oh, what about that for a shot?
I grew up in Wellington, a little suburb called Nanai. I moved to Australia by myself and I went straight to the Roosters and I lived with a billet family for a while, and I only signed a 1-year contract thinking I'm just going to give it a go, and then played okay and then re-signed again, so ended up staying here for the rest of my life.
Mossy Masoi. Mossy Masoi! I think he's got this down.
When you moved to England, you had a huge life-changing injury. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it was a pre-season game, and I was going in for a tackle and I ended up becoming paralysed from the neck down. There were doubts that I was going to walk again and things like that, but There was just a slight chance that I would, so I just sat on that, and just was so grateful that my cord wasn't damaged right through, and it still had like a chance of recovering. The week of my injury, we found out my partner was pregnant with our youngest, so it was pretty like that's all I was focused on. I was like, oh, I've got to get better because I want to hold this baby when I get out of hospital. 8 weeks in, I could get in a wheelchair. I was like, oh, so stoked. I was like, yes. And then this guy come along, and he was pretty cool. He's one of the patients, and he goes, bro, you're not gonna stay like that. You're gonna be better than me. You'll just get up and walk. And so it's recovered as much as I can at the moment. There's still a long way to go. I better bring my walking stick or else I'll fall over.
And what's life been like for you now that you've moved back to the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, life's been good moving back here. I've just been really focused on the kids. Yeah, the little one, the new addition, is keeping us on our toes, and knowing where I was 3 years ago when the injury happened, I've just become like grateful for everything. Just those little things, like I'm just grateful to go to the shops, or my daughter will bring back like the assembly thing, like, oh, I might get an award this week, or can you come? Oh yeah, we'll come to the award. So just those little things in life, I would have taken it for granted pre this, like, you know, I can go now and like just take them down to swimming or football, or like just drop them off to school. I'm like the Uber driver, and yeah, so it's been nice.
Firstly, Talon, I want to just apologise for my co-host for not being there. Oh, I thought I was sitting on her there for a minute, but hey, welcome into our garage, welcome into our whare. It's great to have you here.
Nah, thank you. Appreciate it for having me. It's a cool little spot, so yeah, keen.
Awesome, bro. We've just seen a story on Mosi Masoi and about his journey through his injuries. It's great to see him living in the moment. Talking about injuries, you've just gone through one yourself. How's that been?
Nah, yeah, it's been pretty good actually, to be honest. It's been a blessing in disguise for me, but obviously when I found out about the injury, because I didn't think I'd done my ACL, but when I found out, I broke down a bit because I don't get to play for a year. So I grieved for 2 weeks, I think it was, like just eating whatever I want, just being a sad dog at home to my missus and that. But no, then yeah, once I accepted it, it's been up from here, to be honest. It's been pretty easy.
So ACL injury, you done it in a warm-up game, well, the trial game against St. Helens, correct?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
I don't know, I was in like a 3-man tackle or 2, and then I got held up, and then someone from the side, I don't know his name, but he like bladed me. But he must have bladed in like a perfect spot, and then it snapped like the ligament, or the ACL, whatever you want to call it. I'm not no scientist, but yeah, it snapped there, and then I thought it was just like play on, and then I went to get up, but yeah, I knew something wasn't right.
For those people that have done ACL injuries and for people that haven't done a major injury like that, what's been the process coming back into rehab, your mindset? I know you said you struggled in grief for a couple of weeks beforehand. What's changed your mindset, and how do you see yourself now?
No, what changed my mindset, I think, was, well, my brother's done it, so I had help from him, Tyrone. And no, I think just accepting it, to be honest, was a big part for me to move on. Like once I accepted it, and I got the time frame, which was 9 to 12 months, they said I'll be out. So I knew I wasn't going to play this year. And yeah, once I accepted that, I wrote down like a little plan, like a journey with my welfare manager. And then, yeah, from there I just thought I'm going to attack it. Like there's no point like dwelling over it now. Like I can't do anything. I got a time frame, so this is the time frame. So I just thought like I only can get better from me and stuff that I can work on. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's been a blessing. So, yeah. 21,
still really young. I feel like you've played more than a year and a half, or a year of NRL. Gun player, represented Samoa in the World Cup. Same thing kind of happened again there. You pulled up an injury just before, or in the semi-finals, or before the finals.
Yeah, so I done my hamstring, so a bit of an unlucky run for me. But yeah, I done my hamstring, and I missed out on, I don't know how many games I missed out, but I know I missed out on the GF, and I guess that's every kid's dream, is to win a GF. Well, just playing in the NRL, but especially being in the GF and winning it. But yeah, I missed out on that. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, so maybe it just wasn't my time to be in that team at that time. And another brother got to like feel what it was like to win.
Clearly from the bottom has kicked to Taylor May. What a side! The entertainers.
O'Sullivan, they're in. Taylor May scores.
Taylor May for the corner. He jumps in for another one.
Cleary for Luai. On the kick out. Quick hands for May. Got there. Somehow Taylor May has that ball. It's a chance for May.
Line for Taylor May to score.
Oh, kick out. The no look up. And Taylor May in the corner.
Blink and you miss it. May for the corner.
Taylor May has his double tonight.
This Penrith Panthers try scoring whiz starts with Samoa.
Blacktown born,
Yeah.
Mount Druitt raised.
Yeah,
Tell us about that. Again, you know, I've heard a lot of stories.
yeah.
But, hey, nothing better than coming from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, and growing up, to be honest, was pretty tough for me. Especially growing up in my area, like, because I grew up like in Tregear. That's pretty much like the heart. Like, I wouldn't say that. Oh, well, I reckon it's the heart of Mount Druitt, like around there, like Tregear, Wilmot, and that. Those are like the pretty like trenches spot. And yeah, just growing up in school, like, there's a lot of fights in that. Just even being around it, like the gang environments and that. Being around those boys and just getting caught up in that stuff sometimes. Yeah, it was pretty tough, but I knew like the path I was like leading on, and I knew where my head was, and I think even the boys that I was hanging around at those times knew like it's time like that I stopped hanging around them. So they sort of let me I wasn't into anything, but just like stopped hanging with them, you know what I mean? Put myself around the right people, and yeah, just went from there. And then yeah, life started getting better. Like I stopped hanging around those people, you know, doing stupid stuff. Like it was just stupid what we were getting into. Yeah, if I didn't end up playing footy, like if I didn't find footy, I probably would have been like in that life. To be honest, I would have went to that life, because I didn't want to work for anyone. Like I don't want to work, so.
Who were your biggest believers in when it was beside yourself, and there's moments there where you could have gone into the gang life or just hung out with the wrong people? Who were your biggest believers and pushed you forward into the right path?
No, I think just my circle, like my family, to be honest. Like my dad was always pretty good at like keeping us away from that stuff. Like he was like strict. It was like I was in an army camp. Like everyone in my Penrith team know what my dad's like, and the boys that do know my dad know what he was like when we were younger. Like, weren't even allowed to go to my cousins, no fizzies and that. Like, he would make us train up the hill, me, Tyrone, Terrell, like teach us how to pass both ways and that. So I guess sort of just watching him and how he like grew up and the mistakes he made and how his childhood was, I think he must have learned, and he sort of led a good path, like didn't do drugs, doesn't rarely drinks. And yeah, I think he just believed a lot. Even though I was always small, he always said I had the heart. So I guess, yeah, my dad and my mum and that, but especially my brothers, yeah, I guess even just proving them wrong, because it's a bit bad to say it, but even my brother Terrell now that's playing, I remember we always used to get into fights in Orstag, and like Tago and that known, he used to say, you're shit, like you're never going to make NRL, and I was sort of just guess like trying to beat him to it, like not like envious or just proving him wrong, like showing that I can do it, like when your own brother's doubting you, you know what I mean? But I know it's just a frustration, but I guess sort of from there, like that like hit a spot in my heart, and I said, oh, like watch, I'm going to prove you wrong, like. And then yeah, but no, they've been my best believers too, like in saying that my brother's always been there, like I know it's just off anger, so.
Your Penrith development, your youth coming through the grades, I was talking to you before here, didn't make too many rep teams.
Nah.
Most really thought you weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey.
Nah, yeah, coming up I was pretty much a nobody, like I was pretty small, like I always got told I was too small, and that's where the nickname Tiny comes from. They just said I was too small to be in this team, that team, and I guess my mindset was just to always prove them wrong, sort of, because I know my family believed in me, so yeah, but coming up through the ranks, you know, you have those superstars like this and that. So yeah, I didn't think much of it. Like, I didn't think I was going to make it to NRL because I wasn't making the teams that they were making, like Australian schoolboys, New South Wales and that. But then, yeah, I just keep pushing through, and then I think it's when I hit Cup, like I had a good growth spurt, to be honest, and then I moved from hooker into wing. I transitioned, so I was a hooker originally, and then I transitioned to wing. And then, yeah, from there, yeah, it was just freaking, I started playing some good footy in wing and got used to the position, found a little speed in that. So, yeah, and then I went from there, and now I'm here.
Just when you thought you were going to have the whole show to yourself, the boss is still here. Plus, what would an episode be without a feature from the Raiders? So Adam, this one's for you. Welcome to the home of the Canberra Raiders.
Up in Nichols, straight through. Here's try number 2. Shael Robbins-Lacty.
We're here at the Raiders facility and I'm lucky enough to be joined by Shay. We're going to answer some fan questions, but before we start, left side, strong side.
Up the Raiders.
What's the transition like coming from rugby to rugby league?
A lot more contact in this game. I guess being in rugby union, I was out on the wing or at the back, so didn't get much contact. But yeah, my body really felt it after that first game, and just some bigger hits. Do you have any hidden talents?
Absolutely not. I'd like to say that I could sing or dance, but I can't.
Yeah, I know that for sure. No.
Do you have any female role models that inspired you growing up?
Well, my mum was definitely one of them. She was like high performance for netball, but growing up, probably Tima Potter George, who was in the Silver Ferns. How do you find living in Australia compared to NZ?
It's different not having our family here or my family here, but I like it though. I like living down here and I like having all the girls around us. Like, we're in a very unique situation where we get to, you know, hang out all the time. I have to cook your dinner every night, things like that, you know.
Yeah, nice. My dinner?
I was waiting for your reaction. Who do you think is the biggest hitter in the NRLW right now?
Kere put on a really mean hit, so.
And you know who else? Ash.
Yeah,
For her
Ash,
size,
yeah.
holy crap.
She made a few big hits, so yeah, I'd say Kere and Ash. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
What's the girl's name off Transformers? Megan Fox.
What?
I'm kidding. I don't know. Who would play yours?
Zoe Saldana of Avatar. You don't know who it is?
I've seen Avatar and they're all blue.
No, but obviously her as the actor you is.
And this one was sent in from the lovely Adam. If you could replace Maddie with any winger, who would it be? No one, Adam, because she's not replacing me.
Well, at the moment I could probably get Nevaeh, Ash's daughter, to come in and replace you.
For context, that's Ash, our half's daughter. So, thanks.
She might have better hands than Maddie.
Thank you guys for sending in some of those questions, and thank you, Shay, for a mini episode on the couch. And to you, Adam, that's enough of me and my show. You can have it back now.
Quickly, before we finish up, the co-host, she's got some questions for you.
Yo.
All right. Raiders, whatever Raiders, bro. Just whatever. I'm sick of the Raiders anyway, because that's all we talk about is the Raiders. She wants to know tattoos. You got a couple on your face. Meanings behind them. 'Cause again, like, you don't see too many NRL players with tattoos on their face.
Yeah, not hard. Well, I sort of like to be different, and I said it in my article why. Like, I did say why I got these tattoos. I guess it was like a cry for help. Like, yeah, but obviously people probably say, oh, why don't you just go get help, this, that, but yeah, it was more like, I don't know, just like to express like how I'm feeling. And yeah, so I sort of got these tattoos for that reason. And another reason was to like see how people change, like how quick they are to judge me or put something like, say, oh, he thinks he's this, he's that. Like, you know, everyone with a tattoo on their face, they've got something like, they get judged pretty much. So yeah, in a sense, it was sort of those reasons. Also sort of like, I can't go out with these tats, so like it puts like a thing, I can't go clubs with tats like this. So kept me away from there. But even though I don't like doing that stuff, so.
Bro, you know, you got a lot of time now and you're doing your rehab and stuff like that. What are you trying to do in your spare time? Is there any study? Are you trying to build a brand?
Yo,
What are you trying to do now?
yeah, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, to be honest. And my mum and dad always say, just focus on one. But like, for me, I'm trying to build a clothing brand. Yeah, that clothing brand, I don't know when it'll be out, but I'm working towards that. And I studied a speaking course that no one knows about. Yeah, I did that for 6 weeks because I couldn't speak. Like, I was with Chad Townsend and that, and just seeing the way they spoke, and then it was my turn. And then apparently we had to make up a story, but I don't check my Gmails and that. So Dave Full had Gunna's stories, and I think you were supposed to write it out. And I said my story, and they said, "Fuck, that's a mad story, but did you write it?" I was like, "Nah." And then they're like, "Oh, like you have good stories, and I think it'd help a lot of people, but just the way you portray it and maybe spend time on it." So I did that, and I feel like it really helped me a lot because for the stuff that I want to be doing, I need to learn to speak. And if I don't know the person or I don't feel comfortable, then I'll go quiet as. So.
Well, I'm glad you feel comfortable talking to me here, bro, because I reckon if the other person was here, our co-host, too serious here. It ends up being too serious, this conversation. Well, I like to have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's good. I feel heaps welcomed when I was here. I feel comfortable. Know what I mean? It's been good.
For our younger guys, you're still young, but for our guys that are on the same journey as you into NRL, you know, a bit of advice of, I guess, the media pressure, obviously social media, but then having a purpose.
Yeah, I feel like don't be, especially I say this for the young guys, because even my brother can relate to Terrell. He made no teams, like he didn't even make the SG. He was in the like under things, and he quit footy for a bit. And I feel like if you don't make those teams when you're younger, like SG, or you're not making Australian schoolboys, I feel like that doesn't matter. Eh? Like as long as you keep at it, like no matter what, you can still crack it. Like just keep believing, and just because you're not up to where these guys are, to be honest, half of them fall off. Like the big star names that are young, like they just don't, I think, stay committed. But if you just train hard and work hard, I feel like the rest will take over itself because hard work beats talent. So, yeah.
Bro, some mean as korero conversations here. I've enjoyed having in our garage, and so is everyone else at home watching, because there's some good stories inside your brain and where you've come from and your upbringing, plus also, you know, representing Penrith and Mount Druitt and on the world stage as well. So thank you so much for rolling into our garage, bro, and having a conversation with me, just with me, and all our people watching at home. So appreciate your love, brother.
Nah, thank you. Appreciate it. This has been heaps good, but yeah. Chirp.
Matty Park up there after a win for the Raiders.
From Australia.